Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who just spent his life savings to buy the aluminum sword that Patrick Swayze used in Steel Dawn. It's Adam Hodgins.
Well, I had to do my bit so I could get that band out of the DJ booth at the radio station. They were holding them hostage there, so that was what the ransom was they wanted an aluminum sword from Steel Dawn. So you got to do your bit for King and Country.
Yeah, I mean, but I appreciate you doing your bit so that my bit works.
No, and that's really what it's about, right?
And we're on a super in-joke right now.
We are 2 podcasts deep into an in-joke.
So we did a podcast about Steel Dawn, the Patrick Swayze ripoff.
Classic.
Mad Max ripoff.
Classic.
Featuring the greatest punch ever by a sand person, right?
Yes.
Greatest punch.
100%.
I mean, He wallops Swayze in that. Then, sorry, go for it.
I was going to say, I guarantee it was one of those things where it's like, oh, he really punched him, but just leave it in the movie.
Yeah, he was unconscious for a couple hours, and they had to resume a couple weeks later. And then I recently did an Airheads pod with Jay Cluett, and we said, what would we want if we were holding a radio station? What would the name of our band be, Adam, if we're holding a radio station hostage?
So my go-to joke, like the bit I always do, is when anybody says anything that could be a band name, I always just say, oh, that was the name of my high school metal band.
Nice.
And so the most recent one was yesterday. I was having a kind of a serious conversation with a friend of mine, and he's like, when someone plants these seeds of doubt, and I was like, that was the name of my high school metal band, Seeds of Doubt. So I think our band for this day would be Seeds of Doubt.
I like it. I was going to pick, like, you and I are a 2-person band, like the Japan Droids. And our name is Rick, Bobby, Steve, Jay, Debbie, Ricky, and the What You Wants.
I can get behind that.
It's just the 2 of us.
Yeah, I always also wanted to have a band
Seeds of
called
Doubt.
Seeds of Doubt's good. I also really wanted to have a band called No Cash Value, so all of our tickets would say No Cash Value.
Oh, that's a good bit. I like Seeds of Doubt is so 90s, and Airheads was 90s, and we would just, one of those songs. We would rip off Better Man and just call it like Good Dude.
Good Dude.
Can't find a good dude.
Another band bit I thought would be cool to do is call your band Reunion Tour.
Yeah.
So every tour was the reunion tour.
Reunion tour.
But if you kept your ticket stub from the original, any concert you saw, when we eventually did a reunion tour, you'd get in for free.
Oh my gosh. Like a real reunion tour.
Yeah, like 20 years later, if you kept your ticket stub, in for free.
So basically, we tour we tour for a year, we cut an album over a year, then we tour for a year. So we're on the road for a year, off the road for a year, 2 years, and then we get back on the road. So if there's a gap between 5 years, then you can come. That's a reunion show almost. That's a reunion show. I like it. I want to do the album cover of Seeds of Doubt. I would be looking like Mike Myers from So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yep.
I don't know why, but then I would sing really, really grungy.
Right. And I would be in the background holding a guitar, but very blurry.
No, you and I are like, we're a team. I'm not saying I'm the lead singer here.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, they think it's me, but there's some seeds of doubt. That's who the guitar player is.
Well, the name of our songs need to be like, will they be there?
Right.
Like, what's going to happen?
Does she love me?
I'm pretty sure, but someone said something the other day and just eating at me.
Can I trust her? Like, just like.
Can I trust her?
Oh, no. That's it. That's the Pearl Jam song. Better Man is, can I trust her? And it's just that real guttural.
You do it better than I do. I'll be the drummer.
It's just, I like how you went from charismatic lead singer to like, I'll be the drummer. Like just.
But I want to be the drummer that makes a big deal. So there's very, very chill drummers, right? But then there's the drummers like Lars from Metallica and, just big drummers. And so I would be the drummer. This sounds very random, but I would be the drummer from Coldplay who also sings backup.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
And so it's like, this guy's a drummer, but he also sings backup. He's an enigma.
So the drummer, or in the church, right?
One of our drummers?
No, so
I know.
My job is I like kind of run the music at a church. And so I have 4 drummers that I kind of cycle through. And one of them is this older guy named Wally, and he's awesome, but he also sings as he drums.
Nice.
Yeah. So like I live your dream every 4th week.
I mean, so how does he do it?
Amazingly. He just drums and he brings the microphone stand over and like booms it over and he just like sings away.
Man, that seems really hard, dude. I wouldn't be the drummer. I would be the rhythm guitarist.
Oh yeah. I can get behind that. I've been that guy a number of times.
I just keep moving myself
I think the rhythm guitarist is the guy who can look the coolest with doing the least amount of effort.
Yeah, you're right. And everyone's just like, that guy's cool, but I'm just sort of chill. And I miss... No,
yeah.
wait.
No, 100%.
Or would I be the Dave Grohl?
Ooh.
What do you think?
Yeah.
This is going really... We're really pushing seeds of doubt here. You're pushing a lot of doubt into my mind about where I should be.
I think what we should do is the Seeds of Doubt should be a 90s band version of like the Everly Brothers, where it's 2 frontmen. And then town to town, we hire a backing band.
Ooh.
We send them our music ahead of time, and we just say we need a drummer, a bassist, and a keyboard player. And every town we go to, it's kind of like Crazy Heart with Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
When you go and there'd be like a pickup a band.
Oh my gosh.
That would be our Seeds of Doubt. Because we doubt, like we think there's going to be a band there, but there's always some seeds of doubt that there won't be.
Yeah, and we don't trust other bandmates because they've left us.
Exactly.
Now, this is going to sound weird, but I think at the beginning and the end of the show, I think you would be much better at saying hello Cleveland and goodbye Cleveland or wherever we're at than I would be. I think you would do it more earnestly, and I would
I would just be like a genuine, how are you doing, Cleveland?
Like you would care. I would just...
Yes.
I'd be like, hey, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Good, whatever.
I would be like, I would say, like, hello, Cleveland. And you would be like, where's the guy with our check? Like, that would be, you would be very concerned about the payday.
Yep. The majority of the stuff on our rider was not here.
Right. Did I tell you that my favorite thing in the world is John Tesh's rider?
No, what's John Tesh's rider?
He's got a bunch of stuff in it, but one of the things he has is he wants a 1985 LJ rubber wrestling action figure on his table in his dressing room at every show.
That's amazing. Now that's because he wants people to read his rider, correct?
Exactly. Exactly. He isn't even a wrestling fan, but he's just like, that proves to me that they read all the fine print.
Now, what I would do is I would pretend that's what I want, but I would want everything.
Right. No, exactly. Like I would like a Criterion DVD copy of Deep Blue Sea in every show we go to, in case we forget to bring our copy of Deep Blue Sea.
I mean, things happen. You got to watch it more than once.
So that would be, I think, for Seeds of Doubt. You know how there's like the meet and greet and the VIP passes?
Yeah.
We would sell 50 VIP passes for every show, and those people get to come after the concert and watch Deep Blue Sea with us in the back room.
Yes. And just no one gets to talk. We just get to make comments.
No. Yeah, we do a running commentary of it. We'll get like our bits down because it's every night we're doing it.
Yeah. But if someone says something during the movie that's funnier than ours, they're out.
Yeah, we don't need that nonsense.
Yeah.
We don't need that nonsense. But what I think would happen is what I would do on your birthday, without telling you, is because by the time we come around to your birthday, we're huge. Like, we're big deals. I would make sure Thomas Jane and LL Cool J were in the VIP section for your birthday.
Oh, wow. That'd be amazing. And then we'd cover Deepest Bluest.
We'd cover Deepest Bluest.
I feel like for your birthday, I would probably remember the day before or the day of, and I'd just give you something on the bus that was on the bus already, but was mine.
Like you're eating a pizza and you're like, hey man, I bought you half a pizza.
Here's half my stuffed crust.
Right?
It's from yesterday.
Okay. Question. Cause I had an enigma happen to me last week.
Uh-oh.
So we were finishing up church and then we were like talking about what we were going to do. So we had some friends over and they said, we'll just get some pizza. And we're okay. So I was like taking pizza orders and I'm like, I'm going to get stuffed crust because it's so good. And my friend was like, what are you, 8 years old? You eat the stuffed crust pizza? Like it was like the Happy Meal of pizzas. He was talking to me like, do you think stuffed crust is a children's only thing?
So I don't want to. No, I don't. And I think it's interesting how angry your friend was. I think that says more about him as
Yeah,
it
he was
does
like,
your pizza. Because his reaction seems very angry.
yeah, no, it's so I get there's a place that does stuffed crust and they put like the garlic sauce and
They
the
have pretzel.
Parmesan on it.
They have like pretzel bread now, and they have the weird nacho bread. Like put the cheese in the crust. It's cool.
Yeah. Come on, man, get off my back. I was like, have I been doing this wrong all my life? Like, am I the adult at lunchtime with a juice box? Is like that who I've become? And no, I understand that you would agree that stuffed crust is the way to go.
I think adults order what they want because they're not worried about what other people think.
Right.
And they stand by it. But you're getting seeds of doubt in your brain.
Getting seeds of doubt in my brain.
Can I tell you something about these movies that we're talking about tonight?
Oh, right. We're talking about movies tonight.
So in '95, when I heard about Judge Dredd being made with Sylvester Stallone, I sat down and my mom was sitting down and I had my Premiere magazine. I looked her in the eyes and I said, "Mom, they got this Judge Dredd going movie and it's based on the comics. And I just really hope that they cast Armand Assante as the bad guy in Judge Dredd." And boy, did they.
Boy, did they. Wow. Wow. You called that. Young Mark Hoffmeyer was like, you know what's going to be the best possible outcome for this?
The Assante.
That's incredible.
I said it. And then when I saw it in '96, I said, boy, I'm not going to admit it, but I was wrong.
Yeah, no. And you know what? I think that everybody, when they saw it, was like, you know what? Like, I'm talking the director, I'm talking Stallone. Everybody was like, you know what? I was wrong.
So I really wanted to message you about this today, but I couldn't because, we probably would have gotten to an hour-long tangent about something else and I would have missed the class that I'm teaching. I watched the movie, right? And I was like, I kind of want to watch it again just to get it fresh in my mind, but I didn't have time today. So my drive to work in the morning is about an hour 15, drive back's about an hour 15. So I put it on my phone, put on the Bluetooth in my car. I wasn't looking at it. Put the phone to the side, and I just listened to Judge Dredd on my drive to and fro work. Right?
Yeah.
My gosh, man. All right. So have I ever really like? I'm not gonna hate on a movie. All right. So this movie was written by Steven D'Souza, the guy who he wrote Die Hard, he wrote Commando, Running Man, he wrote Die Hard 2. But the movie. Before we go any further, I want to say you and I do not hate on movies. No, we do not.
However, this podcast, this episode is not a single movie podcast. It's about a movie and a remake.
Yeah.
So I think there is a little bit of leeway to be like, this original version of the movie maybe didn't hit the mark that a next version of it hit. And
I gotta tell you. I'll get to Dredd later. I'll finish my thought here because then we'll go off on another tangent and then talk about cheesy bread. So,
right.
D'Souza, he hit his stride, and I think maybe he became too enamored with his own writing. Mm-hmm. And he wrote Beverly Hills Cop 3, then he wrote Hudson Hawk, then he wrote Street Fighter, and it was finished off with Judge Dredd. And now, the director Danny Cannon, who on the set wanted it to be more action-oriented, Sylvester Stallone wanted to be more comedic. In its essence.
Because that's his strong suit.
Yes, exactly. Demolition Man was funny because of Snipes and there were jokes. So right. Demolition Man is a funny movie. There was
comedy around Stallone in that movie.
This is a movie with comedy bits thrown in. So I think D'Souza was just really enamored with his writing because there's parts in this movie where, hey, bar breath. And I'm listening to this dialogue where he's like, you save people so that the world is saved. I kill people so the world is killed. There's a scene in Judge Dredd. So I'm listening. It's really interesting listening to movies like a podcast. There's a scene where, hey, so Dredd and Schneider need to get back into the city. Judge Dredd goes, there's a tunnel and twice a minute, big flames spurt out of it, which means we have 30 seconds fire, then 30 seconds fire. And I just said, did they just explain twice in 60 seconds to us?
Isn't that when there's a really bad barbecue joke?
Yeah, I'm going to be fried. And then there's a really odd joke where Stallone is undressing a guy and Rob Schneider's like, we don't have time for this.
Yeah. Rob Schneider felt odd in this movie.
Well, do you know they wanted Joe Pesci?
No, I did not know that.
Stallone wanted Joe Pesci in this movie. Joe Pesci turned it down, and Stallone figured, hey, I like that guy Schneider from Demolition Man. He was funny because I like Schneider in Home Alone too. I liked him in Demolition Man. I even liked him in Surf Ninjas. This one though, he was just thrown in to throw bits out, and so he threw that in with this humor. And this movie though is just such a weird mishmash. And another thing about Judge Dredd, I don't understand in any of these movies, right, how flying cars work in any scene. So in anything, Fifth Element, right? All the flying cars.
Back to the Future, I don't understand even in Star Wars, like, where's the road? Why can't you go under people? Like, what are the rules of a flying car?
And even in Aquaman, it's the same thing, but underwater. So I don't know how traffic laws work in these movies. I just have to say, I have to get it out. And Attack of the Clones too. There's no stop signs. People are just flying wherever they want. I don't get it. And in a world that's so poor, so are there flying cars? Did you read the comics? Are there all these flying cars in a world?
So there was a few flying cars, but I remember the cars in the comics being more grounded. Because if you were in Heavenly Heights, right? If you were Rob Schneider and
that was a good pun. The cars were more grounded.
Yeah, you like
the flying cars were more grounded.
But if you were in Heavenly Heights, why wouldn't you just fly away in a car? That's what I'm saying. Like, just fly away in your magic car if you're in these slums, but they don't. And that doesn't make, like, if I had a flying car, I would just go wherever I wanted to. There'd be no rules.
Yeah, I didn't get that, right? And then they had the bit about the recycled thing, I actually read an article about
recycled food is good for the environment and okay for you.
I mean, that's a bit right there. I mean, that's a bit I appreciated. I mean, someone wrote that, and I dug it.
Yep.
So I read an article saying that the 2012 Dredd got the character of Dredd correct.
Yeah, they nailed it on the nose.
But the Dredd 96 Judge Dredd captured the world better.
Yeah, it captured the world and the look.
And so they made a pretty interesting point, but I know that the 96 Dredd captures the look, and there's a lot of colors. There's a lot of, a lot of mutants.
It looks like a comic book.
Clones. Oh, no, for sure. And I think the production design on Judge Dredd was solid. But I really like Dredd 2012, just they shot in South Africa, and I love the kind of brutalist architecture, the very squared rectangle. I loved the feel of the Dredd world, felt real to me, and I like that more.
Here's what I think. I think that the character Dredd fits better into the Dredd 2012 world than the character Dredd fits into the Judge Dredd 1995 world. Like, although it's closer to the comic books in 95, the world it lives in, the character doesn't sit well. Like, the Judge Dredd character wouldn't have visually worked. Like,
it is 95. I'm sorry, guys. People are going to be losing their minds.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that it wouldn't have worked to have that character in that colorful palette. But John Wagner, who was the head writer for Judge Dredd, he said of 95, he says, I hated the plot. It was Dredd pressed through the Hollywood cliche mill, a dynamic power struggle that he held little connection to the character we know and love from the comics. And then he said about 2012 Dredd, he said, it's a high-octane, edge-of-the-seat stuff and gives a fair representation of Dredd than the first movie. So it's very much just like, we didn't do a good job, and then we did a good job.
The 2012 Dredd is very, almost nihilistic.
Yeah.
It's a brutal film. And
also, I think that what worked for me for the Dredd versus Judge Dredd. So in 95, I felt like that was just a typical movie. There's like, here's your first act, second act, third act, and here's what we need to go with. And Dredd was very much a day in the life of. It was just kind of like, almost like a Kevin Smith movie of a Judge Dredd movie, right?
Just a day in the life. He could have gone anywhere else.
Yeah. And they just chose that. Well, let's go here, rookie, and we'll do this thing. And I feel like that would be so ripe for a franchise, and it could just be a week. Right? Every movie's just another day. But I think that for this, like, police officer, the cop cop life is you go and you check in, and there's this crazy adventure every day, maybe not, and then you go home at night, and that's your story. And I feel like that's what Dredd gave us, and that's why it worked so well.
And what I liked about 2012, so Dredd, I mean, in today's climate, I wonder what people's reaction to Dredd would be coming. I know it's a comic book, but just kind of the cop walking around doing all that. But I did not like Stallone's character because of his hubris. Like, we're 200 meters away, but we only need 300. I am the law. I'm just going to arrest you for no reason. It felt very pompous almost in its execution.
Yeah.
But
it almost felt like he was like a RoboCop kind of thing. Here's the rules.
Yeah.
And the human aspect of like judgment call is going to be turned off.
And in 2012 Dredd, he does make judgment calls. He doesn't arrest certain people because there's better priorities. Just you better get out of here. But what I liked about him is they talked about how 500 million people are in this city, and only 6% of the calls are. So they only tackle 6% of all police calls in the city per day. So Dredd is going around causing all this chaos, but there's still so much chaos going out around him. And I find that interesting, how he's just fighting a losing battle, but
and well aware of it.
Yeah, and well aware of it. He just keeps moving forward. And I think that's a very interesting concept, at least to me.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, for a certain extent, that's what I think some police officers feel like.
Yeah. And he just,
like I have a friend who's a detective with the Toronto police, and she was doing this investigation, and I was like, it was quite an interesting investigation. She told me a little bit about it, and I was like, "Oh, are you going to get them?" And she goes, "Well, we're probably not going to get them." Like they know the system, and it was actually a band of gypsies, which is funny.
Bare knuckle boxers.
Like yeah, essentially. But she goes, they know the system, they know how to work in and out, how to go skate right close to the line, and then get away. And so it was kind of like this idea of like, we're doing our job, we're doing our best, but it is a losing battle. But just because we're losing the battle doesn't mean we don't fight it.
And I also like the humanity inside. So inside of this cell block in Dredd, I like that they take time. So Olivia Thirlby Anderson murders a dude, and later on they go to someone's house, and that is the man's wife that she had killed earlier. You get shots of children. You get shots of people just going about their day, or people helping, or kids being scared. And I thought the bad guy in this movie, Mama, was almost relatable about her story about working her way up. A way she protected... sorry, go ahead.
Since you understand how she gets there.
Yeah, it's a very clear understanding of why she gets there. And I also liked how she spared Anderson. And I love that line when Wood Harris, who's awesome in The Wire, he should, I wish he would have gotten a bigger role in this, but when he has her in an elevator, he's like, "You're screwed." That gave me goosebumps. And I liked how she kind of spared Anderson. I mean, she was being smart about it, even though she was cruel. And I also found out something interesting about this movie is, so it had the director, but then it turns out that Pete Travis directed Dredd. But it turns out now that Carl Urban came out saying that Alex Garland, the guy who directed Ex Machina and Annihilation, which are two fantastic movies, and we've potted about both, I believe.
Just brilliant
movies. They're saying he directed most of this. And while I was watching it, I was pausing shots at just the cinematography and the lighting. And since I've been teaching production design, I've known about it before, but I've really started focusing on it. And so I looked this movie up, right? And the DP who works on this, Anthony Mantle, he won an Oscar. He for Slumdog Millionaire. He also shot 28 Days Later, which I think is amazing. He shot Dogville by Lars von Trier, which is just a chalk lined out set. He did Millions, Slumdog Rush, which I think is beautiful, Trainspotting 2, 127 Hours. And he hated DP. He hated 3D. So what he did, he developed a new camera so people's faces in 3D would look better. There's a lot of close-ups in this movie, but it's 3D. And he developed a new camera for that. And they also used a Phantom, which I'm pretty sure he talked to his boy Lars von Trier, who did a movie called Melancholia, which has some of the best Phantom work I've ever seen in my life. But the slow-mo shots in this movie move at, 4,000 frames per second? Just the way that they captured the slow motion. This Dredd 2012, it's a brutal little thing, but it hits really hard on its budget. I mean, they did a lot for $50 million on this movie. And it's a beautiful looking movie. It's a very well shot film.
It's incredible. So I went and saw it with my good buddy Fraser Sweet. How cool of a name is that, Fraser Sweet?
That's a sweet name. That sounds like I don't know.
You could be a pro wrestler with the name Fraser Sweet.
You could be in Seeds of Doubt, but we would hate his name, so we get rid of him because it's like his name's too good.
I think he would be our security officer. He would be he's a big guy. So he would be a big supporter, and he'd be our onboard security.
Sounds great to me. But what did you?
We went and saw it.
Yeah.
We went and saw it like opening night, and because we were all like pumped up about it, and we came out, and the first thing I said to him was, I said, that is finally a movie that 3D made the movie better.
Yeah.
Because it was different 3D than I'd ever seen before. I said it's almost like most 3D movies have something popping out at you. This one had depth. You looked into the shot.
Yeah, it wasn't post conversion. It was they shot it on set 3D, and it became a character almost.
Yeah.
This is like a work of art movie. And I know I know a lot of people make fun of that. So there's a shot in the Game of Thrones episodes where people were saying this shot should be taught in every film class, and they were kind of making fun of that. But I think I find this movie so impressive is because it's Dredd, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was one of those things where like, oh, they're doing a remake of Judge Dredd, or they're making another Dredd movie, a reboot of it, and you're like, I remember I had the same feelings of this what I had with the RoboCop remake, when I was like, I have fond memories of the first one as a kid. I really hope this doesn't this can't be a waste of my time. And it was not a waste of my time. It was incredible.
The one thing I worry though, it only made 13 million domestically, and overall total around the world, it just pulled in 35 million on a $50 million budget. And
yep.
I think a big reason for that is, it's so hard R-rated. It is glum.
So do you think this movie does better money after Deadpool?
Yes. I think that, well, all right. Yeah, I mean, well, you know what? Watchmen was out. Watchmen was hot at the time. Constantine was very bleak.
But Snyder was coming off of 300 when he did Watchmen.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He had the hype.
He had that like hype momentum behind him, right?
I don't know how this movie made only 13 million. I really don't. It kind of blows my mind a little bit, but it's become a huge cult classic. And now everywhere you go, you read a movie about wanting a sequel.
Well, and Carl Urban did the thing where he's like, if we sell this many DVDs, we can make a sequel. And he was urging people like, this month, go buy a second copy so we can get Judge Dredd. So I actually purchased 3 copies through my lifetime. I got one for myself, I bought 2 for friends for their birthdays. Yeah. So I was like, I've done my bit, Carl Urban. I bought 3 copies of Dredd.
I bought the Blu-ray, lost it, then I bought the digital copy. So I was like,
exactly.
I mean, but this movie though, man, I totally forgot how beautiful it was to look at. It's incredibly violent. I mean, the gore in this movie is pretty great. And I also thought Olivia Thirlwell. Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say, it's not like glorified gore violence.
It's
like
ugly.
When you watch, for example, when you watch Deadpool and he's slicing people's, and don't get me wrong, I love me some Deadpool. But when he's slicing people's heads off and he's doing his flips, and it's almost like this fun, tongue-in-cheek kind of like, oh, haha, this is really gory. Where this was like viscerally uncomfortable gore.
Yeah, and I think the director's good at that, Garland. So in Annihilation, in some of those scenes, like the way he tackles death, almost, sometimes in Sunshine too, except for the ending. But 28 Days Later, the death in that movie it feels, because he wrote 28 Days Later, I think the death in his movies feels It doesn't feel watered down. It's like that S.
No,
Craig Zoller who does that brawl from Cell Block 99 and Bone Tomahawk. And I liked how efficient Dredd was in this. He was just a guy who knew what he was doing against guys who didn't know what they were doing.
Right. Now, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
If Judge Anderson was not with him and he was by himself, would he have succeeded faster or would it take him longer to get the job done?
Well, didn't she save him once?
She saved him once, but I'm saying I don't think his mind was completely free of her, whereas he was just on his own.
I think even as he... Oh, gosh, that's a very good question. I think he would rather have somebody there, though. I think he enjoys having someone with him. Because even when he could have made the decisions, he could have taken over. But he was still training her because he had done this all before.
The ever-present teacher. He was the best Jedi I've ever seen with like a Padawan learner. So
I think he would have rather had... I think he enjoyed it more teaching somebody.
Okay.
And I don't understand why Olivia Thirlby hasn't done more stuff. I thought she was really good in this movie.
She was really good in this.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. And also, I mean, Lena Headey stays busy, so I'm not going to make a comment on that. But Donald Gleason, his name is like Mama Tech, but he added so much nuance to that role. Just the way that he was really scared and the way that he cried and just like how frightened he looked of everything. Like characters like this aren't in movies like this normally.
I think if this movie would have been made 5 years prior, that would have been Patton Oswalt.
Yeah. Yeah, I got this, like Blade Trinity kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, like a Blade Trinity kind of thing.
Yeah. Sorry, Patton. You're a big fan of the pod. We'd love to see you in it in the next one.
That's right. Or I want him to play that character in the Goldberg's ripoff of this when the little Adam Goldberg makes his version of Judge Dredd.
Oh, that'd be great. Is that a bit? Is that a bit?
Well, he's always Patton Oswalt narrates that show.
Yeah.
And he plays and he narrates Adam Goldberg as an adult looking back, kind of like the Wonder Years.
Oh, okay.
Adam Goldberg always makes 80s movies, so with his friends he remakes them all, which is kind of adorable.
Oh God, I didn't know that. But no,
you didn't watch the Goldbergs? You need to watch the Goldbergs.
I haven't watched it.
Gotta watch the Goldbergs. It's pretty adorable.
Someone else told me that too. There's just so much, man. I'm so behind on things. I can't do it.
There's so much content.
I don't have the bandwidth.
I was trying to explain to some of my youth kids last week or 2 weeks ago about just how much content they have to digest. When we were kids, there was 4 or 5 channels, and 2 of those were news channels, and you just had to watch what was on, whether it was good or not.
Yep, TGIF.
That's right.
There's a movie I want in this movie, though. There's a thing where Mama starts taking over, right? And they said 9 months later, she had taken over 20 stories of Peachtree. So in 9 months, she had to fight to get 20 stories of Peachtree, which is 200 stories. Not even the whole thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you want the prequel Mama story?
Yeah, almost sort of like a City of God-esque film.
Yeah.
Where they kind of work their way up. Well, they're working their way down. But 9 months. When they threw that out there, I said, you can't just say that and not give awesome... I want to see more of that. But I thought it was pretty cool that they didn't just say, 3 weeks later, Mama had control. No. 9 months later, she had a few floors.
Right. No, that's incredible. So I think what I liked about this too is it's much smaller scale than Judge Dredd 1995, where that was there's this clone going on.
There's too much. There's
cannibals. Yeah. And this was just we need to get to the top floor and get Mama.
I sorry to interrupt you there. I was gonna message you this too. There's way too much story in Judge Dredd, and then there's just not much story in Dredd, which is fine. But it's interesting how totally different they are. Now, I have a question. When you watch Dredd, do you think of The Raid?
A little bit.
I mean, this had to have been in production before The Raid, because I don't think they would just rip off ideas of it. A movie filmed in South Africa wouldn't be ripping off a movie being filmed in Indonesia.
And I think there was an earnest love for Judge Dredd, the franchise, when they were making this movie. I think it was, you get this sense that Karl Urban is having the most fun in the world playing Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah, he was working that chin out.
He was working out that chin. But I don't think that I like to think of my filmmakers that have good scruples, that they made the movie they wanted to make. And then if any coincidences, if any likenesses to other things, it was just by happenstance.
And I also think they had to make the movie where they made it, because you can't tell a sprawling $50 million movie. And if you do, it's not going to look good. So they had to condense it into something like what they did. And if you think about it, dude, Alex Garland, I know, sorry to interrupt, Alex Garland,
No.
So he traps people, you have this wide open space, right? But then you trap people in a mansion. Sunshine, you are in a spaceship. Dredd, you are in a high-rise building. Ex Machina, you're in a house. Annihilation, you're inside a bubble. So he really likes to stick people in one place and just sort of keep them there.
Well, I think what it does is it really grounds the watcher, you, that like, here's the limits of where you are.
Yeah. And we're going up. That's it.
Up. That's it. That's where you can get to. So you kind of know the terrain very well. It's like a comfortable playing of Goldeneye with your friends. You know the map well.
Oh. Yeah, and yeah. That makes that. I mean, I think they handled that geography really well in Dredd. We're fawning all this movie, and I think it deserves it. I just have one question. 2 questions. What do you think about the motorcycles in Dredd?
I'm glad they didn't fly. I was a little underwhelmed by them.
I don't know how you drove them.
I think that, yeah, they just seemed a little bit slight to me. And maybe because I was like waiting for like a really cool, big piece of machinery to be like, this is the Judge cycle. But in hindsight, I think it's better because I want the hero of this movie to be Judge Dredd. I don't want him to have like fancy stuff. I want him, the man, to be what wins this war.
Oh, I like that. And then did you think the movie slowed down a little bit when the other judges came? Because it was just the same, oh, it's a meat grinder and this, that, and the other. And it took me away from Mama and him getting to the top. Maybe they needed to add a kind of different group of police or maybe a bigger challenge for him to fight. But I was never worried at all about those judges doing anything to him. And it slowed down the movie a little bit for me.
In that moment, I felt like I got to a new level on a Sega Genesis game. Yeah. It's just like, oh, it's more bad guys. They look differently, but it's just more bad guys.
And I liked the melee of him shooting the incendiary and wiping out 10 dudes. But then when it just goes to one-on-one fights, and Dredd hides behind a wall, but he knows the other guy has the armor-piercing bullets. It kind of... I don't know. I love it, dude. I love the movie. And then he gets a monologue in, which is pretty interesting. But though so if I had to be you know how everyone looks for faults, but I guess that's the one part where I kind of would look at my watch.
Yeah, I would agree that it kind of slowed down there a little bit, but I would also say that maybe it needed to. Like, one of my favorite movies to watch is Last of the Mohicans. When you watch it, you're like sweating because he's just running and running and running. It's exhausting to watch. And so I think that the pacing of this movie, you just needed a little breather there.
Can you and I hum the theme song right now? I would do the whole thing.
That's going to be a ringtone.
Yeah, I love... and so my brother and I went to Chimney Rock where that was filmed, that final battle, and I found where... oh man, the actor who he ended up being killed by Wes Studi, and then the girl fell off the cliff. I found the part where he was hiding when the soldiers were walking, that he bopped him in the face, and we reenacted that scene. No one died, but we reenacted it.
It's cool.
Yeah, that was sweet. But no, I think and I also think it adds another world to it. So you have corrupt cops. So not only do you have corrupt cops, but you have only 6% of this happening. So I guess that would happen in this world.
Yeah, no, 100%, because, you know, it's corrupt cops are everywhere. Why wouldn't they be at Peachtree?
Yeah, and getting paid because that dude's been on the street for 20 years. I almost don't blame him. When he said 20 years, I'm like, wow. There's no pension?
What's retirement pension? Mega City.
Do you have to take a long walk if in this... Is the long walk thing in the comic?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm not a huge Judge Dredd comic guy.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think the long walk is a thing. Seems like the worst thing ever.
We'll Google it when we take a break because I don't want people yelling at me about that. But So, I guess going back to Judge Dredd, the purpose of the long walk is to go out and fight crime.
I just checked something out here, which is crazy. But speaking of Last of the Mohicans,
Mm-hmm.
the sequel, The Last of the Mohicans was the book.
No, what?
The Pathfinder. Well, it's the same name. It's a different story.
Oh, that's way before. Never mind.
It's way before, but I was just interested. I was like, the Pathfinder? That's like a sequel? And then I checked it out, and it was not this. It's not the urban movie, but
do time traveling Vikings attack? Pathfinder. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it. Well, hey, how about this? Let's take a break. When we come back, we got a lot more Judge Dredd and Dredd to talk about, and then we also have to put together a Color Urban Super Team. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Mark here. So after coming back from break, we had a little bit of technical difficulties here with Adam's audio. I did my best to fix it, to make it sound as optimal as possible. Just know there's a lot of great stuff in here, but the audio does sound a bit off. I just want to give you a heads up so you're not super confused, but there's some good bits in here, so hopefully you enjoy. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. So I have a question about Judge Dredd. We're going to go back to Stallone's 95 film.
I have an answer.
What? Okay, so Dredd became the perfect cop, correct?
Yes.
Now, Rico became the perfect criminal.
Right. Because essentially it's twins.
Yeah. But how does that work?
Again, I think it's the same thing as twins. So everything good went to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and everything bad went to Danny DeVito. And I think that's the way clearly DNA works in 90s film. So that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna say, it might be the same scientist who did it.
Also, how are they training their rookies in this city? Because the rookies that we meet are not very good.
No, well, I want to know the life expectancy of a judge.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes, right?
It's
crazy.
I mean, it's block war everywhere, and they're not trained very well. Wouldn't they teach you that?
Well, I also think that the justice system is flawed in Judge Dredd. So when Max van Sydow, the high judge, what's his name?
I got his name here. Let me pull that up. But yeah,
Chief Justice.
Yeah, Fargo.
Right. When he's like, I know that the death penalty is what he deserves, but I will go to the wasteland if you spare his life. Right? That's kind of what the deal he makes.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. They're like, if your justice system is so airtight, then Stallone is definitely guilty, which we know he's not, but he definitely is according to the law. Why would you take a double hit saying, well, we'll keep him alive in prison and also lose our head Chief Justice? It seems like a lose-lose situation.
Well, they did that on purpose, right? To get both of them out, so then that guy could take power and Rico could cause war and kill hundreds of judges with a very slow-moving ABC warrior.
No, 100%. But I'm saying that Chief Justice Fargo knew that was in place and he could do that. Why does that exist?
Because that prevents anything from being airtight.
Right.
Plot?
Maybe this will come in handy if this ever gets made into a movie later on, is what they said.
Because they need to have a reunion so he can get stabbed by a cannibal.
I also think that his ABC robot looked just like the boxer robots from Real Steel.
Oh, yeah, just much slower. How does he sneak that ABC warrior into that guy's office?
He put him in a noodle cart.
And so how did this get made? The only thing I remember about their Judge Dredd podcast is they called it a spaghetti robot. So he snuck a robot into a spaghetti. That's a very large spaghetti robot. I want to see this.
Yeah, well, there's like the motherships that have all the noodles.
Oh, like the food truck. Then he snuck the ABC warrior in there? Now, how does the ABC warrior that can't move kill over 100 judges?
I think that it was like the judges that had just come out of the academy and were having an after party. They had just all graduated.
Oh.
And so they were inebriated. Some of them were sleeping. These guys came in and just killed them in their sleep.
No,
it's the only possible way.
I love the way it looks. The practical effects of the cannibals and the ABC warrior, top notch.
It's awesome.
Top notch. I mean, I know we're raking on Dredd, but I love the look of these things. So one of the few, I had a couple memories from Judge Dredd, and just one of them was the spaghetti robot. And then I remembered Rob Schneider on the back of the ABC Warrior. And I remember when I was 13, 14, I thought that thing was awesome.
So when we grew up, we would go down on a Friday night to the rental movie theater. We had a theater called the Plaza, which had one screen, but it's also the place where you rented movies from. So the front was a video store, and it was a theater as well. And so we'd go there on a Friday night, and I could pick a movie, and my sister could pick a movie. She was awful at picking movies. It was just so. But we always watch hers first, and then she'd fall asleep, and I'd watch mine by myself. So I picked Judge Dredd, and I watched it. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time that a 13-year-old Adam watched this movie, I thought it was super cool. And again, there wasn't a whole lot to compare it to at that point in time.
Yeah.
And it was also like this like deep cut, like not a mainstream comic book hero, but so you're like, oh, I'm kind of on the inside now. I know about this. And so I liked it. And then so the next day, my sister was like, hey, let's watch this, because she liked Stallone. And she loved it. And she watched it 3 times that day.
Oh, wow.
Like, I like this movie. And so I was like, oh. So we rented that movie a few times, because I was like, if my sister likes this, at least it's something we can watch that's not, awful.
It's only an hour and a half.
It's only an hour and a half, and it's got some cool things into it. Like, it's got, like, there's this dystopian future, and, like, I like a post-apocalyptic movie. A lot of things about this movie that I really dug, and I think the meanest thing I've heard anybody ever say is that there's a couple I was with, and we were hanging out, and the wife said, I didn't marry my husband for the man he is, or was. I married him for the man he has the potential to be.
Oof!
And he's getting there.
Ooh!
And they're married for like 8 years. And I was like, that is, and he was like, yep, no, I'm getting there. Like, he was really happy about it. But I don't think I love this movie for the movie it was, but the movie it had the potential to be.
Yeah, and you could tell that it was being pulled. It was a tug of war on both sides. No, it was a 3-way tug of war. It was the director, and then it was it was a 4-way. It was Stallone, the director, the producers, and then Assante just over on another side pulling on a thing.
Yeah.
Rico, his laugh. He has an evil laugh.
I think it was amazing that the scenery lasted as long as it did with him chewing on it so much. Like,
he honey badgered it.
He really did.
And now, all right,
that scene where he picks up the gun and they're like, only a judge can use that gun. He's like, I must be a judge then. Like, I remember like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
But so this is a movie, right, where The Crow had come out a year prior, correct? With The Crow was 94.
Yep.
So The Crow, The Crow is an edgy piece of work and this comes out, and it's this movie's rated R, Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
But the insults in this movie are bar breath and beaver toes and chicken livers and Dumbledore. So this is
I think it got the R rating strictly because of all the clone deaths at the end.
Yeah.
They just like that gross clone scene. Because
there is no other reason for... Well, Armand Assante busts out a couple of good swear words. But this was not... This was a PG-13 movie. How did it get an R? Because of the clone deaths?
I think it was all the clone deaths, like the gross clone deaths at the end.
Why were clones in it?
Because he wanted to make a bunch of Ricos that he could control.
Oh, man. I want to see a Rico army. Oh! And Stallone goes, you could never control yourself. So how can you control yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was gross.
What a line, huh?
And I also feel that Diane Lane was very miscast as Judge Hershey.
Yeah, I felt bad for her in this. I was just like, get her out of here. The same way I felt in the Man of Steel movie. I'm like, get Diane Lane out of here. She's a treasure.
I felt Diane Lane was like almost Judge Dredd's mom, and then they shoehorned her into like a love relationship with him.
Yeah, the smooch at the end for some reason.
Right, and it's against judge policy to be in a relationship with other judges or anybody at all.
Oh, brother.
They're just like Jedi. They remain married to their job.
So he broke the law.
He did break the law.
Oh, no. It's like Captain America starting to swear.
It is like Captain America starting to swear. That was such a missed joke.
Oh, the America's ass?
No, when he like sees himself coming, he drops the S.
Oh, yeah.
And Tony Stark doesn't say language cap. Like that was a missed joke.
Yeah, you should have been like, ooh, hey. I need to watch that movie again. It's been too long. But all right, so this movie moves. I guess the point I was going to make earlier is that this is a movie in '95 after the very hit Crow, after Keanu Reeves was awesome in Speed, after Arnold Schwarzenegger almost reinvented himself with True Lies by having Jamie Lee Curtis be so awesome in that movie. But then you have Judge Dredd with a climatic battle between Armand Assante and Stallone.
So Judge Dredd was made in 95 and felt like it belonged in 85.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I guess that's part of D'Souza's writing, I would say. But I also think Sylvester Stallone had some interesting villains in the 90s. So in 94, right, he had the Specialist, who was Eric Roberts. Then he had John Lithgow. And then he had Armand Assante. He had a very interesting group of villains to fight in his films, didn't he?
Who was the villain
Wesley
in
Snipes.
Assassins?
Antonio Banderas.
Right.
Well, that's a good one. So
that was a good movie.
So he would kind of do one for one really good villain, one random villain. But listen to our cliffhanger podcast if you're listening to this, so you can listen to me talk about John Lithgow working Stallone's ribs. Armand Assante did not work the ribs here.
No, so this to me as a child felt like the end fight from Commando, where it's like you have Schwartz fighting a Belgian sausage in chainmail. Right? Like, just, there's no way, though, that's a fair fight. And then you get Stallone, he's Rambo for crying out loud. And then you get Armand Assante, who's just like, how does he compete with Stallone? Like, how's he even on the same wavelength? I don't get it.
I mean, he was pretty live in this movie, Assante.
Yeah. But when you have an established guy like Stallone who's known for being just like incredibly ripped, you really got to build up a bad guy to fight him.
Yeah, you're right. But I think he practiced more. I think he worked out his saying words more. I think he worked out his enunciation. That's what Armand Assante spent his time working out on. So I want to build something up for you. So I'm going to start with Rico. So Rico, Why did you judge me? Why did you judge me? Judge Dredd, you killed innocent people. Rico, a means to an end. Judge Dredd, you started a massacre. Rico, I caused a revolution. Judge Dredd, you betrayed the law. Rico, there's literally 6 W's in this quote that I just read.
I want to give you the Oscar for best reading of it. Because for a moment I was like, did Mark get Stallone to be on the podcast?
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
We betrayed the law. It was amazing.
Now, Rico, he's fun, though, in this movie, no? Like, when you watched him, now that you're older, what'd you think about this?
I constantly think that he would Armand Assante would go to his trailer after the shoot and just be like, he's like laughing to himself. It's like, I can't believe let me do that again. Like, I think he was just seeing what he could get away with, and they were just like, yeah, cut, that's a take.
I think Stallone and the director were fighting so much that they ignored Assante on set. I like when Rico says, he says, I'm the only one who ever loved you. But he says it, he's like, I'm the only one who ever loved you. Or, I'm the only one who ever loved you. Like, he says the way that, I can't even recreate how he said it. I'm the only one who ever loved you. I don't know how he did it. I wish I would have taped it and played it. But very interesting. He's going for it on this movie, Assante. Maybe we should give him more credit.
So I will say, you and I always agree, or have always agreed, that if you make a choice and stick to it, good or bad, there's respect there for making a choice and sticking to it.
Oh, yeah.
I really feel like Rico made some choices and stuck right to them.
Yeah. I think I give him props for this because he's in a different movie. He's in an 85 movie.
Yeah.
Right? And then Stallone thought, hey, Demolition Man was a hit. But a lot of the humor from Demolition Man came from Snipes. Yeah. And his reactions. And a lot, like the fish out of water concept worked well. He's not a fish out of water here.
He's a man apart. He's a man at a time, right? It's like, how do the seashells work? And what's the paper? And, even like let's have sex. Like, that was his whole different thing, right? Yeah. Whereas in this, he's maybe the most knowledgeable guy. People always go to him for advice.
Except for the rookies. And I like that Rico says, the innocent exist only until they inevitably become perpetrators. Guilt and innocence is a matter of timing.
And you know what? I don't think he's wrong about that.
No.
Rob Schneider, for example.
Like who?
Like
Oh
Rob
yeah,
Schneider,
you're
he
right.
was, how do I survive in this criminal wasteland? And all of a sudden I'm released, and now I'm back in jail because I was trying to survive.
And this world, and Judge Dredd says to him, "You should have jumped out and died." So that's not a good way to start a character, is it?
No, and I think that's the hero's journey that Stallone goes on. He goes from being a robot to a person, and I think that's why they did the kiss at the end.
Oh, that's why she says to him, "They made me without any emotions," and she's like, "No, you made yourself into that." She's like, "Look at your brother. Look how much emotion he has."
Yeah, just take a little bit, a thimble of that, mix it in, and do a little bit of...
Yeah, a little bit goes a long way. Oh man, that's funny. All right, now I do want to talk about they did not choreograph any fights in here. So when he fights the cannibals, Scott Wilson. So as I'm listening to this in my car, Scott Wilson's running at him with a spear, but this is how long it goes. It's a very long run. And then Stallone grabs the same weapon and runs at the large man, and the attack fails in the same way that Scott Wilson's attack failed. What'd you think about that?
Well, again, it must have been different listening to it because I just visually, those cannibals are so interesting.
Yeah.
The set is so interesting that I'm like, I was almost like mesmerized by all that going on to care that it was just a really bad fight.
So they had Junior, and then they had the other guy, and then the other guy was born a deformed baby that they turned into a robot.
Right.
And so they've been murdering, and so Judge Dredd knew about them. So they blow up ships and they just eat people and scavenge?
How much does a half-robot deformed guy have to eat to survive as a cannibal?
3 fingers a week. And some motor oil.
That's why they crash the plane, so he scavenges the plane parts.
Yeah, he can guzzle. They have knowledge of... They're doctors.
Yeah, no, they're for three cannibals living in the wasteland, they are pretty intelligent.
I mean, they're known, right? They know about them.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and they're like scared of them.
And Christopher Plummer walked there pretty quickly.
You mean Max Van?
Oh yeah, Max Van.
I was like Christopher Plummer.
I did them mixed up. The Seventh Seal, how about that? Walks there really quickly. That's a Criterion Blu-ray I'd love to own.
I thought Christopher Plummer in the Stratford Shakespeare Festival when I was in high school.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a town near here in Ontario called Stratford, and they do like a Shakespeare Festival every year. And it's like a big deal.
Nice.
Christopher Plummer was in Hamlet.
Ooh, how'd that sound?
Well, I was in high school, so like you pretend you like Shakespeare because girls are there, but you don't really like know what's going on.
Got it. You're like, man, this bard sucks, but it sounds interesting.
Exactly.
So, anything else you want to cover on these movies? Now, you said you might have something that's gonna...
Judge Dredd has a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And Dredd, 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
Which goes into my theory that Carl Urban makes everything better.
I mean, I would say so.
So I said to you, he's like the king of remakes. So he remade Dredd. He remade Pete's Dragon, which when I saw the first few Pete's Dragon, I was like, how can they take like a classic Disney children's movie and make it, and they did. They made that movie so much better.
Such a good movie.
I took 35 kids at a day camp to go see that movie. And the bus ride home, there was like all tears of joy streaming down people's faces. Because it's like such a sad but beautiful movie.
So good.
And then like Star Trek, when you think like you take a classic thing that's like so quintessential to pop culture, you're going to redo it. And Carl Urban kills it there.
Crushes it.
So he crushes it. And this list goes on and on of movies he's remade. So I said, Mark, here's what we're going to do. We're going to each come up with 7 movies that we think would be better remade with Carl Urban. And then we're going to, from that 14 movie pot, we're going to pick 5 and put together a 5-picture deal if we were a studio to offer Carl Urban.
Ooh. Oh man. This is tough.
And it's been tough because I just think like everything would be better with Carl Urban. Like Henry Gable's better with Carl Urban, right? Like,
and he was in Red, right? And that was better than Red 2 because he wasn't in it. Now he was in the sequel to Pitch Black, but we'll ignore that.
I'm not talking sequels. I'm talking remakes.
Oh, got it. Never mind. Well, do you want to kick us off, or do you want me to kick us off?
I'll kick us off.
All right.
I'll kick us off. So my first one is I would like to see Carl Urban in Face Off.
Whoa.
Opposite Keanu Reeves.
Whoa. So this is the first of 14 that we're pitching for his 5-picture deal. Oh my gosh. So him and Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Man, because I like so is Keanu Reeves going, like, is he going to go full Nick Cage? Because he went full Nick Cage in Knock Knock.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is, beginning of the movie, Keanu is the villain and Carl Urban is the FBI agent, and then they switch faces.
Oh.
So the bulk of the movie, Carl Urban playing a Keanu Reeves villain.
I like it. Oh man, who should be the right-hand man? Because don't they have right-hand people? Or does that not matter? Who's the Gina Gershon role?
I think in that role, I would probably put Emily Clark.
Oh. Wait, Amelia Clark?
Yeah, sorry, Amelia Clark.
Oh, that's interesting.
And as Keanu Reeves' little brother who figures it out or has suspicions that it's different, that whole time, I would go opposite and say his older brother, or maybe his uncle, and it would be Steve Buscemi.
Oh my gosh. So that means, would Carl Urban be smoking the cigarettes like Travolta did in Face Off? Like he's about to play darts? Oh my gosh. You know, I wrote a post about the evolution of John Travolta's villainous smoking. And how it evolved through his movies.
Sounds like an incredible post.
Yeah, it's fun. I think we did a podcast about it. But so in Pulp Fiction, he just smokes a lot. It's really cool because it's a Tarantino movie. Then he goes to Broken Arrow, and all he does is smoke. I mean, but he uses the scissor motion. He's always has a cigarette in his mouth. Then he moves to Face Off, and he just basically throws a cigarette like a dart. Then he moves to Swordfish, and he essentially face palms himself with his cigarette. Then he goes to Punisher, and he smokes a pipe. Evolved.
That is evolving.
So I love this. Wrong. I do love this Face Off, man. Just imagine them headlining a movie together. I'd be so happy if Urban was in a big movie this big.
Yeah, he's been in so much good stuff. He's never been the guy, you know?
All right. So I was going to do a movie, but I'm still going to do it, but I want to do it back to back with Face Off. I'm going to pitch High Noon.
Oh, very good.
But with Carl Urban.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could do an old school Western anymore. You might do like a post-apocalyptic. I don't know. Same exact principle.
Right.
But with Carl Urban, no one's helping him. And just him running around the town freaking out.
I like that a lot.
Because that would give him room to really flex what he can do.
100%.
And I think he could pull off nervousness well.
Yep.
But also stoicism.
Stoicism. You
like that? It's a good word. All right, who do you got?
Because he's from New Zealand, we never hear his actual New Zealand accent. I would love to see a remake of Crocodile Dundee.
Oh my gosh! But with Urban?
Yeah,
oh my goodness!
Doing this thing, being like, because he's charming. Like he's charming, and that's what Paul Hogan had going for him. He was just so charming.
So he would be a New Zealand Crocodile Dundee?
Well, no, he'd be from Australia, but the accent works close enough that we wouldn't notice.
Got it. And then he comes to America with a big knife?
Comes to America with a big knife. But just like it would be like coming to like a hipster-driven millennial 2019 America.
Oh, but he's open to it. He's not like a crotchety old guy. He's cool with everyone, but he's just been in...
Like, I love you, yeah, mate. That's good. But they just don't understand him at all.
Yeah. And so... Oh, I like it. So he's not like the grumpy last man standing Tim Allen. He's just a nice dude that's been in the bush, and he's meeting all these people now.
Right.
Oh, I love it. I think everyone would love him.
I think it would be huge. Remember for a while, like, Australia was like all the rage, and we were like koala bears in their neon shirts and stuff.
Yep.
Whatever happened to those days?
Crocodile Dundee 3.
Crocodile Dundee 3 happened. You're not wrong.
What do you think?
No, I think I'm saying Crocodile Dundee I think would make money. I think that would make money.
You know how much money it made? So I broke down. I got a post coming out about trilogies, and that movie made about $300 million with inflation. Crocodile Dundee in the United States alone.
Wow.
Smash hit. Urban needs that, doesn't he?
He does need that. He definitely needs that.
All right, all right, I'm gonna go back to the one I was gonna do, but I want to drop this one on you. Carl Urban, Cash, Timothy Oliphant, Tango, Tango and Cash remake.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Okay, so I have. You're never gonna believe this.
What do you have?
Carl Urban, Cash, Tom Hardy, Tango.
Whoa. Either one of those work, but you and I both picked Cash.
Yeah, we both, Tango and Cash was up there. Because I said I need to have a Stallone remake. What would be the one Stallone movie I'd remake? Tango and Cash.
Oh man. So, alright, I think Hardy works better. I picked Oliphant because I feel like Tango and Cash are kind of the same guy. They're different, but they're both the same guy. So, and I just like Oliphant.
I love Oliphant. My wife and I, probably our favorite show collectively would be Justified.
So good. So who do you think? Oliphant or Hardy?
I'm going to say go Oliphant and make Hardy the villain.
Oh, the prison warden? Just overacting and chewing scenery?
Yeah.
Man, because I just think the two of them would be funny together. They would just be, there would be no serious one. They would just both be wisecracking.
Exactly. And loving every minute of it.
And I could picture Oliphant as a rich cop.
Absolutely. He's just like he's just the guy who's just a cop because he wants to be a cop because he wants to be that good at it.
A day trader. At night.
Just a precursor. If you hear panting going on, there's fireworks being set off somewhere in my town, and my dog has crawled onto me because she's terrified of them. So that may be a sound.
My cats run under the bed. They freak out, so I get it. And what's your dog? Did your dog pick one? No, Mark is a dog.
Yeah, Turner and Hooch.
Yeah. Canine. All right. Hey, what's your next one?
Okay, so my next one is Multiplicity.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that's maybe Keaton at it. Like, it's so good. Like, it's such a dumb concept that shouldn't work, but Keaton pulls it off and makes it adorable.
Yep.
And I think that if we're going to give someone a 5-picture deal, they want to get as many demographics as they can, so they need a family comedy. And I think Carl Urban opposite Renee Zellweger or someone of that caliber could pull off the both.
Oh, man, I just want to see what clone of a clone Urban will do. Because I've never seen him go clone of a clone.
I think the clone of a clone Urban is Judge Dredd.
Wait. Oh, got it. Judge Dredd. Just acting like that? Will he be eating? Yeah. Will he be putting pizza in his wallet?
I think, yeah. When he would run into a room and take a swig of Coca-Cola from a 2-liter bottle, then like run out of the room, I couldn't get enough of that.
All right. So this is going to be weird. This ties into something. So when I was young, I bought a ticket for Multiplicity, and then I snuck into The Frighteners, which is the next movie I wanted to pitch.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah. So that you caught that right there. So New Zealand, right?
Yep.
Peter Jackson already loves him. Peter Jackson's not beyond remaking things. So have him play the Michael J. Fox, well, of course, but have him playing the Michael J. Fox role. That'd be, cause he could pull off a shisty paranormal guy.
Yeah. He'd be a little bit older than the Michael J. Fox character, but I think that'll work.
Yeah, cause he's like 46, but whatever, maybe this make his backstory even more tragic. Right? Cause, maybe this one he had a wife and kids.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, no, I'm down with this.
I just want to see him, because I love how Michael J. Fox just throws his business cards around in his shysting people. I just want Urban. I want Urban talking. I want to see Urban talk to cheeky ghosts. Is essentially what I want.
Here's what I'll say. For all Carl Urban's done, he's never played the same character twice. He's never typecast as a character.
Yeah. He's been Pathfinder. He's been Bones. Bones frustrates me because I know he can do more when I see that character. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I know he's got more in him.
But he just does what he's told, and he does it to the very best of his ability.
Yeah, I like it. All right, who do you got next?
Next, I got Logan's Run.
Ooh.
Right, the old sci-fi movie. I remember loving it as a kid, just like the idea of like 30 and then killed, and just like this underground city, and just, it was so like 70s sci-fi. But I think they could really do like an earnest job of that now.
Oh yeah, with him as the lead.
Yeah, with him as Logan.
Weren't they going to make a Logan's Run with Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, well, that fell through.
Yeah,
But he would crush it. I think he'd be great.
And again, that's. I remember the movie when they came out of the ground and they saw the sun and the girl said, "What is that?" He says, "I don't know, but it sure is warm." Like there's just like some good moments in that movie where I think it's like kind of lost to the time.
Yeah, and he could pull that off.
And that movie doesn't age well. Like the special effects in that movie are pretty brutal. So it's not one like Jaws where you could rewatch it now and it'd be enjoyable.
Like people wouldn't rebel if you remade it.
They would not rebel if you remade it.
I like it.
They would rejoice.
All right, my next one. This one's weird, and I don't know why I put it here, but I just want to see it. Carl Urban was the evil black hat in a movie called Priest where he fought Paul Bettany. Then that got me thinking, I want him to star in a remake of Legion.
Ooh.
Because that movie, I watch it again, I don't like it. But then I think about it, and I think about the cast, and I like it. And I think about that old lady spider. I think about the ice cream man. Charles S. Dutton. He's always sacrificing himself in movies. He sacrificed himself in Alien 3, then he sacrificed himself in Mimic, and then he sacrificed himself in this. But I want to see Urban in Paul Bettany's role. I thought Paul Bettany was a really good, but I want to see some more. I think he would add a little bit more personality to it, Urban, in the role. And I just want to see that movie done better. And I just want Carl Urban to be in it.
Again, that movie was a lot of great moments, and then it just wasn't a great execution.
No. But it's one of those movies that you don't enjoy watching, but then you think about later and you think you enjoyed it.
Yep, 100%.
But if Urban, you would leave it going, yeah, that was better. I don't know, I think he'd be cool. I want Kevin Durant back in it too. I just want to see those two on screen together. That'd be good. Just give me the same cast. I don't care.
Just insert Urban. Let's just reshoot certain shots and put them in.
Paul Bettany would be cool with it. He wouldn't mind. All right, who you got next?
Okay, so for my second last one, I have a remake. Now, this will be an ensemble cast. It won't just be starring Carl. He's not going to carry it himself. But The Great Escape.
Oh.
And Carl Urban would play Steve McQueen's role.
Oh my gosh. Now, would he be angry if someone wore a sweet turtleneck sweater?
I think Carl Urban would be easier to deal with on set than Steve McQueen was.
So there'd be no James Garner turtleneck gate?
No, there would be none.
Urban to have a totally unnecessary motorcycle chase just to make him look awesome, right? And then put him on the DVD box.
100%.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, and do like a 50th anniversary or whatever. And again, Great Escape is a movie that holds up.
All right, so I have two left, I guess. And so for me, this one's really weird, right? But The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Oh.
Right? Bogart. He would play the bogey role. And in this journey, I would add Patrick Wilson, because I think they'd be good together. John Leguizamo, who I think needs more roles, and Sun Kang, who I think needs more roles, because I love the Fast movies. But they're the people going for gold. And that movie's that movie happened so long ago, you could remake it without too much anger. Yeah. You could revitalize it. So just these guys, because he could rough it. You put him in a flannel, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine in a flannel.
Yeah. Or whatever you're wearing back then. But I could picture him being kind of like a dirtbag prospector.
Yeah. And, get a little bit of a prospector beard on him.
Yep. Just being him and Patrick Wilson being dirtbags, I'm all for it.
I'm down with that movie.
All right, who's your second to last or your last?
Last, and this is the one that I'm gonna make promotional material for, and I'm gonna really do what I can as a guy living in a small Ontario town to make this happen. But follow me here. Fistful of Dollars, directed by Clint Eastwood.
Whoa! I almost pitched Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Right?
Did you know that? Oh, obviously you didn't know that.
Know that, but go the original one. You let Urban just kind of carry it. Now, here's the thing. The villain I have down is, you're going to not believe this, John Leguizamo.
Yes!
Right? But you do it real earnestly, and you get Eastwood to direct it, which it's kind of like a passing of the torch.
Oh, wow.
Right? So it's kind of like, I approve of this remake, and then, like, Eastwood bringing his, like, just essence to that directing, making that picture be exactly what it's going to be. And then Urban just kind of like, with not a lot of words, just owning the screen. Oh, it'd be amazing.
He'd wear a great poncho.
He would wear a great poncho.
And Leguizamo, directed by Clint Eastwood? Yes, please.
Right? I'm all about that.
Oh, man. Keep that score. It's a great movie.
Yep, so that's my holy grail Carl Urban remake would be.
All right, so my last one is, this is really weird, and people would riot because it's unnecessary. But I want to see him in a remake of The Shining. I don't know why they would make it, because the 80s, well, Stephen King made his TV miniseries because he didn't like The Shining. He said it's a very fancy, good-looking thing, but there's no anything to it because Jack's already crazy. But I want a role that could push. I want Denis Villeneuve, the guy who did Blade Runner 49 and Prisoners, to make Carl Urban into, that character.
Wow.
And do a Shining remake, all on stages, because Villeneuve did, not Villeneuve, she's from Killing Eve. Villeneuve did, he went to, Budapest to shoot Blade Runner 29 on all their sound stages. So build massive stages, Carl Urban, the writer. Very weird, but I like it.
No, I think that is weird. I don't think people would riot because I think, again, The Shining is not a movie that ages well. I want to say, I understand it's like this classic movie and it's like so iconic and whatnot. And like all kinds of stuff happens in it. But again, I feel like, Nicholson was crazy from the get-go. And I don't love that movie like people love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, Shelley Winters is just screaming the whole time. And, definitely some of the characters are definitely off. But I do think, I guess for me, I showed it to my production design class just for the production design.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I mean, the blood, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't really make too much sense. I think it's definitely style over substance.
Yeah.
But I would like to see some substance with that style. What do you think?
And when I think substance, I think Carl Urban.
Yep. So we got to break this down to 5. Can we keep multiplicity?
Yeah, I'm down with keeping multiplicity.
Because that would just be so weird, wouldn't it?
It would be, and it's like not like a classic movie that needs a remake. So, like, I'm pretty sure people under the age of 20 wouldn't even know that it's a remake. They would just think it's a new movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then what do you think about Tango and Cash with? What do you think about Tango and Cash with Oliphant?
No, that has to go in because we both thought of it, so it's a guarantee. It's a golden lock in.
All right, with Oliphant. So we need 3 more pictures.
I had just talking about multiplicity. I had a bunch of youth kids at my house 2 Fridays ago to watch some movies. We should watch Jumanji, and I was like, which one? Like the new one or the old one? All the kids were like, what do you mean the old one?
Oh,
they had no idea.
Did they like the old one?
We watched the new one.
Oh,
I didn't want to risk it.
Got it. Because that one gets pretty bleak.
It does. Can we keep High Noon?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it in space.
I almost said Lockout.
Yeah, but like High Noon on a space station.
Oh my gosh. So we have Multiplicity, Tango and Cash, High Noon on a spaceship. I like that.
I think they did High Noon.
On a spaceship? They did Lockout. They did Escape from New York in space with Lockout.
Yeah, no, my mind tells me Sean Connery.
Wait, in a High Noon on a spaceship? We'll just remake that one.
Give me 2 seconds here.
All right. So now what we have left are The Frighteners, The Treasure of Sierra Madre, The Shining, Legion, Face Off, and Crocodile Dundee. And we have Multiplicity, Tango and Cash with Timothy Oliphant, and High Noon in space. So now we just need to break these down. I mean, I guess I could lose. I like the idea. I love Treasure of Sierra Madre. I'm going to lose The Shining.
Okay.
Because I think people would they wouldn't know what to do. I think a lot of people would be annoyed. And I don't want Carl Urban to be attacked for remaking The Shining.
No.
So these 3 movies that we have, Multiplicity, Tango in Space, and High Noon in Space, and Tango and Cash, no one's going to be angry at him for remaking it. Does that make sense?
Yes. So here it is. Outland is a 1981 British science fiction thriller film written and directed by Peter Haynes, Sean Connery, Peter Boyle, and set on Jupiter's moon. Is described as a space western, as in High Noon.
Oh, brother. Well, we can remake that.
We'll maybe remake Outland.
Remake it better. Oh, we should have put him in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in the Connery role.
Can you imagine Urban as James Bond?
Maybe back in the day, not now.
No, I'm talking like 30-year-old Carl Urban.
Yeah, for sure. He could have done it. All right. So what do we think? We got to take Frighteners, Treasure, Legion, Face Off, Crocodile Dundee.
What's the deal with? What are our thoughts on Fistful of Dollars?
Oh yeah, Fistful of Dollars. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm down for that. Let's do it. Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Remaking his own movie.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't care, and this would be a big prestige film. Because most of the time, you think about Sully, American Sniper, he would get awards talk.
Yeah.
And Leguizamo's getting a movie, so you have to do that.
So I love Clint Eastwood more than most people love actors, but I think this would be the perfect way to put a cap on the end of his career.
I like it.
Fistful of Dollars, and he walks away.
So is this in space too?
No, this is a direct remake. He's going to go to the same little Italian town.
Oh.
Like it's going to be like a coming of age moment for him.
Are they going to be spaghetti robots?
No robots, Mark. This is an
All right.
earnest swan song.
All right. So what's the last? What do you want? Frighteners, Treasure, Sierra Madre. Let's get rid of Legion. I mean,
I like the Frighteners. I like the Frighteners a lot.
I
think that
I like Face Off or Frighteners. What do you think?
Yeah. So I think Face Off would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it would be Keanu. You can't turn down a Keanu role.
No. So why don't we do this? We'll say Face Off, and if the first 3 movies make money, we'll add the 6th movie in the deal for the Frighteners.
Yeah, we'll add a rider. And we'll sneak it into the contract.
Right. So he thinks he's done. He's going to go make his indie art house film. And we say, oh, no. You owe us the Frighteners, sir.
We had a great, you didn't want to make these last 2 even though you signed the contract, so you got to make another one.
You looked at us and said, High Noon in Space? Yes, sir, High Noon in Space.
So in the contract, if he complains too much, he has to make another one.
That's right.
And he complained too much. So we're doing Multiplicity, Tango and Cash with Timothy Olyphant, High Noon in Space, Fistful of Dollars, and Face Off. So we'd have to kick it off with Fistful of Dollars first.
That's the kickoff, right? That's the one that gets him in.
Yeah, so that would make him very happy, right?
He gets to be part of Clint's legacy.
And then we're going to put him in Multiplicity, which he might hate. So then we'll follow that up with hanging out with Timothy Olyphant in Tango and Cash, right? Then we'll be like, hey man, we'll do High Noon in Space because you just hung out with Timothy Olyphant. And you get to finish it with Keanu Reeves in the Face Off remake. And we're shooting 2 a year.
2 a year.
Because, you could knock each of these movies out in 4 months.
I'd say Fistful of Dollars is 1 year. Just 1 a year, get that one right. And then the other ones we can knock out pretty quick.
Yeah. But the problem is, Clint Eastwood only does 1 or 2 takes in his movies now.
Oh, that's right. So he can be quick. 1 take Eastwood.
Yeah. So, I think we should start with him. Because he could just say, listen, man, and then so basically he works 4 months, has 2 months off, works 4 months, have 2 months off. So we could knock this out quick. We got some High Noon in Space. High Noon in Space. All right, well, this was fun, dude. Thanks for suggesting. We tackled Dredd, we tackled Judge Dredd, and we put this list together. It was tough. How do you think we did with 2 movies?
No, I think we juggled them fairly well.
Yeah.
I think that's it was a different format, but I think that was one I would visit again. I would definitely do Red Dawn, Remake or Mistake with you.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Remake or Mistake. And then we still got what else? What do we have next?
I think is it not Sharks in Sweden next?
Oh yeah, it is. So we have to record that. Yep, Sharks in Sweden, Shark Lake, and Sharks in Sweden. Correct. We got to talk about this. So hey, this was fun. So we're gonna go start planning this. But for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Adam Hodgins, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week. Oh yeah, we got to discuss that.